Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Whisky Wednesdays. Got people in already. It was awesome to see. Good to see Elise. Good to see Stephanie. Good to see Bridget. Hi, Bridget. How are you? Hope you're well. We had some vodka cocktails for you the other day, and we'll be doing some this weekend as well. So first up, my name's Samuel Accardi. I'm the brand ambassador for McHenry Distillery, Tasmania. It's really exciting. Good to shout out to my mum in the studio audience. She's got her volume up on her phone, so just having a bit of a giggle away there. Good to see Joseph. Good to see Hugh and View. Mount Distillery, Secret Garden Gin. And welcome to another edition of Whisky Wednesdays. Today we're going to be doing two whiskey drinks, and we're actually going to be looking at brandy today. So we've got a little bottle. This is something really rarely seen. This is a bottle of McHenry brandy at cask strength. So we're going to be making today a Rob Roy, a Sidecar, and then once again, our Coca-Cola challenge, or a little bit different to Coke today, but the challenge is back. So we'll be ranking another Coke. But I think first off, that's enough of me talking. Let's get into some cocktails. And we've gone back to the classics today. So we're looking at the Rob Roy and then the Sidecar. So back to the old school pre-prohibition and prohibition style cocktails. So first up, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what the Rob Roy is, and then I'm going to start making it. So I've got brand new cocktail equipment. I've got some new ice blocks. I've got a new shaker. So today we're going to have a lot of fun with this. So basically what the Rob Roy is, it's a Manhattan cocktail made with, Scottish single malt. But today we're going to be using Australian single malt. And then what that does is that then gives us, the Rob Roy. And the Rob Roy, it was a cocktail made in 1894 by a bartender at the Waldorf Astoria back in Manhattan, New York. And it was, basically it's named after Rob Roy. He was a historical Scottish fictional sort of Mel Gibson-esque character basically he's a folklore hero. And also, Rob Roy is a novel by Walter Scott. And I had the great pleasure of reading Walter Scott novels through my university. And I honestly think if I drank 14 or more Rob Roys, that book would have been enjoyable. So that's where the history of the Rob Roy comes from. And basically what it is, it's whiskey, a vermouth, and bitters. So a very simple three ingredient cocktail. So that's enough of me yabbering on. Let's get into the cocktail. What we're going to do is we're going to stir this down today. So I've got some nice ice blocks today. So we're going to put 2 of these in. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start building our cocktail up. So I've got my nice little jigger. Big thanks to the cocktail kit and Steve the bartender for sending all these out from South Australia. Great service. They came in really quite quickly, given the current thing. So what this is, we're going to add our whiskey in first. So this calls for 60 ml. So we're going to use 2 shots. So that's why we've got our big jigger in today. Good to see so many people going. All right. So put that in there. And then what we're going to be doing is 30 ml of our vermouth. So I've got the Maiden Eye vermouth at home. It does call for sweet vermouth, but I don't have any of that. But this will do the job just nicely. Pour that in. And then it calls for 2 dashes of bitters. Angostura. First time I've actually been using bitters on this. So, all right, 1, 2, and 1 for good measure. And then what we're going to do is we're going to stir it. We're going to serve this in a martini glass. So I'm just going to put that there. And then, definitely ask any questions. I'm going to give it a bit of a stir. So you want this to between 20 and 30 seconds. So I'm going to have a quick look at the comments. Good to see Whiskey Travelers say it again. Yeah, this is a Rob Roy. Need to concentrate on my stirring. And what you want to do is you don't want to dilute it too much. You just want to get nice and chilled. In hindsight, I probably should have cracked the ice a little bit, but it's still going to get the desired effect. Oz Whiskey Reviews, good to see you, Luke. Hope you're well. Luke's an absolute legend. He's actually my wicketkeeper in our first team, and I'm the second, so he's a great mate. Good to see Lucy. Hope you're well. Good to see everyone. Yeah. Whiskey Distiller. Good to see Groovy Distiller. Good to see Mark, and good to see John. He's actually drinking a McHenry dram along the way with us. So I'm going to get just one little stir. Oh, that's nice. And then we're going to get our strainer. Look, I've never used these kind of strainers before, so this could end very badly, but I don't think it will. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to strain this in. That actually looks lovely. Perfect. Go down. Good to see Martinez. Stephanie asks, is it called a jigger? Yeah, Japanese jiggers are the actual thing they're called. So our little measuring things. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to add a little lemon twist into this. So just put that there. I'm going to rest that. No, let's just put it in. And that is a Rob Roy. So a Manhattan made using single malt whiskey. I'm going to have a bit of a taste. These aren't the cocktails I usually drink, so I'm really excited to see what this tastes like. So I'm going to have a bit of a taste. Oh yeah, that's really nice. First up, it's quite a boozy cocktail, but I'm really liking the whiskey and the vermouth interacting together. Yum. I really like, because of the whiskey we're using today, so barrel 19 again, so that maker's mark cask and then finish in a port barrel, you get those beautiful notes coming through, and the vermouth helps so well. And the bitters just gives it that little zestiness. I've actually got, so Mark asked, tell us more about your vermouth selection. I've got the one bottle of vermouth, and I just use the Maiden Eye Classic. Just because I'm at home at the moment, I can't really get out to lots of bottle shops and find other ones, and I don't really want to have lots of different vermouths open in the fridge. So I'm just using the Classic. And it's great because it's sort of that blend between a dry vermouth and a sweet vermouth, and it works well in pretty much all that I've done so far. So that's sort of why I'm using it. I really want to get some of the Maiden Eye Rouge, and actually I do have some Lillet Blanc, so which is sort of another type. It's not vermouth per se, but it can be used for your Vesper martinis and things like that. I'm going to have one more sip, and then I'm going to get into the cocktail I'm really most excited for today. I'm going to tell you about our brandy and then what brandy actually is. That's really yum. Really super happy with that, actually. As you can see, sometimes I surprise myself when I make a cocktail and think, oh, that's actually pretty good. Good to see Eve Social. Martinez, good to see you from Colombia. Hope you're well. Good to see Cody. Whiskey Travellers, Whiskey Holic. Got lots of people in today. Good to see Jackie as well. And so, yeah, next up we'll be making a sidecar. And a sidecar, basically it's brandy, triple sec, and lemon juice. So another 3-ingredient classic cocktail. And basically, yeah, the sidecar originated back in New Orleans during Prohibition, and it was just basically went back to the old style cocktails where they were using something sweet, a liquor, and then an orangey liqueur, which is what triple sec is. So I'm today using cask strength brandy that we've made it down at McHenry, and I'm going to be using the Salerno, which is a blood orange liqueur, which is a form of triple sec. I just really like the blood orange taste, and I visited Salerno down on the Amalfi Coast, and I really love it down there, so that's sort of why I really like this one. But now, what is brandy? So brandy is very different to whiskey. Whiskey is made from grains, so you've got your barley, your corn, your rye, and things like that. Brandy is actually made, primarily it's made from fermented grapes, and then that's distilled. However, you can get brandy made from lots of different things. You get apple brandy, peach brandy, pear brandy. In Italy, you've got grappa, which is actually the wine stems and the grape husks and that, and then they ferment that off and distill that. So brandy, or eau de vie, or Spanish brandy, pisco from South America, and then you've got your cognac and armagnac, which are a form of brandy. Cognac is from the area of Cognac, and it's the AOC, so the Appellation d'Origine Contrôlée, which means basically where it's from. So basically, it's very similar to Champagne, Burgundy, all that. The French like to geolock their things, and I really like it. So then you've got cognac and armagnac, so two different flavour profiles, but at the end of the day, they are a brandy. That's enough of me blubbering on. Let's go make some cocktails. Good to see lots of people in Southern Wild Distilleries, Mitch, 36 Spirits. Hope everyone's well. Got a brand new shaker today, so look, we've revamped the whole cocktail show, which is good. So what we're going to do, our nice big ice cubes, put those in, and then, once again, we're using a martini glass. I don't have any coupes, but that doesn't really matter. So, yes, this one, nice and simple again. So this is cask strength brandy we've made. I got to set this blind, so I'm not too sure of the age, the ABV, but I basically got sent it to sort of understand what it is, give some tasting notes, and this is bottle number 2, so I'm really excited by it. So yeah, basically what we're doing is 60 ml of brandy. I really like brandy. I think it's an underappreciated spirit, and the Australian industry is full of brandy. You look at Tarek from South Australia, you look at St. Agnes and Angoves. We've got a really big distilling history of brandy. And we're really excited that we've got lots of brandy casks now that previously held brandy that we're going to age our whiskey in. So that's really cool. Then what we're going to be doing is 20 ml. So I'm actually going to use a smaller one. So yeah, 20 ml of our triple sec. I love this stuff. And then I'm going to put that there. And then basically we're going to add in our lemon juice, which I've pre-prepared earlier. So put that in. Alrighty, let's go. And then what we're going to do is we're going to shake this up. So what we're going to do is get it nice and frosty. Bigger shaker today, so I'm going to have to give myself a bit more room. So So, brand new shaker. Didn't actually secure it that well the first time, but it's really cool. Yeah, it's a nice little upgrade, so works quite well. I just need to push it down a bit harder. Lovely. And then what we're going to do, oh, that's cold. That's good. Those ice cubes are lovely. Got our hawthorn strainer, and we're just going to strain that in. So you can actually rim the glass with sugar. So you just get your little lime or your lemon, put it round, and then dip it in sugar. I was going to do that today, but it would make far too much mess and take too much time. And I wanted to keep this as simple as possible for everyone at home. I'm going to garnish that just with a little bit of a lime wheel, so float that on top. And actually, we've got lots of questions coming through. I'll answer some of the questions and then have a bit of a taste. Whiskey Traveller says, so cultured? Oh, I try to be. I like my fancy cocktails. I like all cocktails, and that's what this show's about, is just exploring how we can have spirits in any form and sort of breaking down the myth that whiskey shouldn't be mixed as well. So, good to see everyone. Martinez, hope you're well. What do you plan to use and mix cane rum or brandy from South America? Ooh, that's a really good question. Actually, our base spirit used to be cane spirit. So what we used to make our gins out of, the original spirit used to be a cane molasses base. I'm not too sure if we ever would look at doing like an Australian pisco version, but I'll have to tell the bills, and we can definitely explore that, because it's always really cool to see what there are going on down there. I'm going to have a bit of a sip and then get back to the rest of the comments. I'm really excited about this one. Oh, that's post-isolation. That's what I'm going to be drinking at bars. It's lovely. You've got those really cool citrus notes coming through from the lemon juice and the Salerno, and the brandy, especially being cask strength. So this is quite a boozy version. But the brandy's awesome because it's got that beautiful, it's a really rich vanilla oaky finish. And as you can see, this one's full of, you still got all that char coming through from the barrel. Probably about, I think this is about 4 to 5 years old. I'm not too sure. I don't know what barrel it came from, but that's the beauty of having a blind sample given to me. So this is awesome. A sugar rim would sweeten it up, but it is quite a sweet drink. This is, after all the cocktail videos I've been watching and all the research, it's always described as a dangerous drink because it creeps up on you, because you can just drink them very quickly and you're not too sure how many you've had. I can definitely understand that. This is a killer. Oh, so good. That's awesome. Let's have a look. Bridget asked, do you have a recommendation for the tools you use? I actually was just using my Crystal Head vodka one that I got in a pack when I was about 18. But yes, now I've upgraded to, these are just from the cocktail kit online. So Steve the bartender, he runs a YouTube channel. I get lots of my ideas off him, and he's an Australian guy out of South Australia. And that's where I get all my cocktail gear off his website. It was great. It came within 2 days from ordering from South Australia. So that's sort of my recommendation. Support local as well. He's also making a really cool little gin at the moment. So yeah, big shout out to him. Bridget also says, someone needs to do a compilation of your face after you taste the drinks you make. Yeah, I've also realised each week I say this is my favourite drink, but I think, look, every week they are my favourite drink. So also I say a lot after I drink them. So yes, I think probably one of my mates will do something, and I like the sound, so let's have another go. Yeah, that's I have a lot of fun doing this, I can't lie. Good to see Jerry, good to see Lucy. John's loving this. Good to see Mind Spirits Co. And now, actually, before we get into utter debauchery of our whiskey and coke section, I'm going to have one more taste of this. I really like the Rob Roy. It's a beautiful colour. These two are really nice. I'd start a night on the Sidecar, I think, and then I'd move to a Rob Roy. I do like a Manhattan because you get that nice rye characteristic coming through. And now to our weekly favourite section. We were going to try use peach coke, but I couldn't find that anywhere. So what we're doing this week with my brand new ice, I've made a sphere. That was really fun. So as you can tell, I've had a lot of fun this week. Is we're going to be using today Pepsi. And for those of you who know me, you know my thoughts about Pepsi. And I actually went to Coles and bought the Pepsi and tried to pay with it with Monopoly money. And the cashier was like, oh, sorry, that's not real money. And I was like, well, this isn't real Coke. So that's my one joke for today. And yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Pepsi, but I'm giving it a chance. We're going to see how it ranks up. Currently, vanilla Coke's at number 1, Coke's at number 2, and this is week 3. So we're going to make a half measure today. So once again, 15 mil of our McHenry single malt. And if all my friends are watching, Luke, if you're watching, I'm sorry for mixing this after all you've taught me, but it's for the people. The people want on our Whiskey and Coke segment. So yeah, 15ml. Cask strength Cokies will be back soon as well. We've got some new samples on the way. And yeah, I'm really happy with that, my ice molds and how they've worked. And then what we're going to do is we're going to top up our Pepsi just to the top there. Normally I garnish this, but I sort of think we're sort of trying to get the flavour characteristics of the Pepsi or the Coke we're using and the whiskey. So we're not going to garnish it today. All right. It's interesting. I think because these stay on your palate, I'm going to have a bit of water actually, just to cleanse my palate. I'm going to go whiskey tasting on this. It's all right. I think my preconceived things, I just don't like Pepsi that much. I also feel you lose the whiskey. In previous weeks, we've had that whiskey coming through still, but I think we've lost it a little bit today. So probably at the moment, this is sitting at number 3. But this is what the people want, and we're going to give the people what they want. Next week, we're going to try and get another different thing. We might do some coconut water, we might do some iced tea, or we might just stick to cola. So, look, sure. All right, I'm going to get some questions. People are having a good laugh about the whiskey and Coke, yeah. It's a bit of an internal struggle sometimes to actually mix the two together, but that's what we do. Whiskey and Traveller says, no, do not put Aussie whiskey with that pus. Oh, we've got to do it. So, yeah, I think personally it works probably best with the Fever Tree Dry Ginger, but the Vanilla Coke works as well, but Pepsi, yeah, just not too much. Alrighty, let's get back to sacrilege. No, who are these people? People are saying stop. Oh, well. I'm not too fast. This is the beauty of it. Like, as probably the youngest brand ambassador in Australia, I get this a lot where people are so caught up sometimes in that we need to drink cask strength whiskey, we need to drink it neat. I say no. We should drink whiskey however we want. And I cop a lot of flack for that sometimes. Because a lot of people that I hang out with not my direct friends, but a lot of people in the actual Melbourne industry and the Australian whiskey industry would hate me for doing this. But as the youngest, and as someone who wants to drink spirits in any way we can, I say do however you like. And because that's the reality is, like, I love drinking highballs, I like drinking vodka lime sodas and vodka raspberries, I like drinking these, I like drinking things to experience the flavour. So we need to break down those myths and see, we can do whatever we want with it. The biggest thing I tell people is you buy the bottle, you do what you want with it. So that's probably what I want to do. And that's sort of my message to people. And people aren't going to always like that I'm mixing it, but it's breaking down that myth that we shouldn't be able to mix whiskey and you should only mix blended whiskies. We do what we want to do, and that's sort of a big message for me that I sort of want to take out to people when I do all my events and as a brand ambassador. So, awesome. People are nice and chatty today. Throw it down the sink, admit it, it's not alright. It's not my favourite combination, but we need to always try it. Whiskey Holic says, I'm unfollowing you, Sam. That's right, I'll send you some samples still. Good to see Jackie, the wig seller. I think you're the youngest whiskey drinker in Australia. Oh, I'm probably one of them. I'm getting a bit old now, you know. But it's awesome to see when I go out into the whiskey bars, there's other people my age drinking whiskey. And when I do my events, I love seeing people my age there, people any age, because whiskey should be drunk by anyone. Doesn't matter your age, your gender, no matter who you are, whiskey should just be drunk. And I love whiskey, and that's why I do these videos, to sort of think it. Good to see everyone, yeah. I'm going to go through these once again and send through any questions. It's been a nice, fun episode today. It's just done exactly what I want when mixing the whiskey and Coke. It gets a discussion going, and that's what I love, is discussions regarding our whiskey industry. And yeah, it might get better with the ice coming through. It's all right. I'm just not the biggest fan of Pepsi, so not going to really love this one. We're going to go the Rob Roy next. I think we're going in favourites today. This is a lovely cocktail. I'm really happy with the colour that's come through. Yeah, it's definitely boozy. You can't have too many of these, because when you're using a big bold, well, it's not even a big bold whiskey, you're using quite a boozy product. And this is all alcohol really, it's just vermouth, whiskey, and then a little bit of bitters. But I really like this. It does take you back to, say, those pre-prohibition eras, and you can think about it sitting there in an old smoky bar and sitting on these and discussing the world events. So that's what I love about these drinks. And yeah, this is super tasty. I'm really proud of this one. But I think today, my favourite has to go to the Sidecar. I love the flavour combination of the brandy, the lemon juice, and the triple sec coming through, especially that blood orange liqueur. I go on about this so often, but I love blood oranges. They've got a nicer, a longer finish. to your traditional oranges, and I think it makes a great liqueur. Personally, I do prefer this one to the Cointreau blood orange one, but that's just a personal choice. Oh, I love it. It's a cocktail that almost in summer you'd want over crushed ice, but in winter, I can just imagine myself sitting in a nice bar, like Whisky and Alma, the Elysian, Bad Frankie, just sipping on this and just chatting to people. Yeah, that's the kind of vibes I'm getting off this cocktail. It's a really good one. Yum. This has been really enjoyable today, so I thought let's have some classic cocktails, because over the last couple of weeks I've been playing around a little bit with some experimental ones, but I really needed to think, let's go back to the classics. I don't really drink a lot of these. I don't really make a lot of these, so that's why I've gone back. Whiskey Travellers, big claps. Yeah, good. These guys are all great, so it's good to see all my mates watching and having a discussion. And I just can't wait till once isolation's over, all you guys, Whiskey Travellers, Jackie, all my mates, Whiskey and Sound, to get back to our bars that we love and support our industry. So that's probably going to do me for today. Send through any other questions. Yeah, have a good day. Good to see Martinez as well. Good to see Natalie, Whiskey and Sake. Thank you all for tuning in on this Wednesday afternoon. I hope you're all well. Hope you're all staying safe and healthy. And yeah, my name's Samuel Accardi. I'm the brand ambassador for McHenry Distillery, Tasmania. Thanks for joining, and I think I'm going to take the Sidecar with me this afternoon. And cheers, and we'll see you on Sunday. We've got a Mother's Day edition, so cocktails that my mum liked, cocktails that my mum's friends like, and we're going to make big shout out to our mums. So we'll see you on Sunday for our Mother's Day edition of Sunday Session. So thank you and good afternoon. Cheers.